Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here. I got myself a cherry cola. Well, cherry, it's Tesco's actually. It's not even a well-known brand, but they're only 49p and they taste amazing, so I got one. So that's what I've got today. I had a couple of cups of tea earlier and I thought I'd better not have another tea yet. But also, it does help jazz me up a little bit because I'm going to run down on the energy. So, you know, when I've been busy and packing orders and rushing around, I need a bit of a pep. So that's another reason I've got a bit of a caffeine injection. So what have I been doing today? Apart from packing orders, and some of them were giant boxes, so I didn't have loads, 5 I've had to do, and answer some questions. But the questions come in right at the wrong point because I needed to really answer. I didn't need to answer it on the phone. I don't know what possessed me. But I decided, my new phone arrived and I decided to do the phone transfer. And as soon as you activate one, the other one says, do you want to transfer this phone? I'll be like, yes, I do. So it started doing all that, and you go on to the other phone now. Go on to the previous phone. You know, you're doing all this. In the middle of that, it needed to do a software update. So that took a bit of time. So I kind of got stuck into something else while it was doing all that. And then when it was time to come back to it, I went back to it. And I went all the way through it. The only thing I couldn't really do was finalise my Apple Pay and all that stuff. So then it said, do you want to transfer the number? And I said, yes. And it come up with 3 numbers because I have a phone which is a Smarty Mobile, and I had it because it's got a lot of data. And when we had the power cut, I used it a lot, you know, because I could upload on it. And I've kept it because it's not that dear, and it's got a lot of data. Don't really use it much, but it's there. So I thought, and I don't want to transfer that. And then I have a tablet that's got a SIM card in it because it just came with one, you know. I didn't want to transfer that either. But the number that I do want to transfer, my phone number, the one I use all the time and that I remember, it said, it's not available on this device. And I'm thinking, what? It's the phone is the one that I've transferred over. It's, you know, that phone, I've transferred everything over. Why wouldn't I want to transfer that number? But it just says it's not available. It's not an option. It's like, how am I going to get that sorted out? Because normally, if you're with O2 or you're with, who was Orange? I don't know who they are now, but T-Mobile, for instance, you can go to their shop and say, why can't this number go over? And they'll sort it for you. But I'm with Sky, you know, and they're like, oh, there's no shop. I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do now. Because it's now SIM-less. That's the problem. You can't just take your little mini SIM out and put it in the new one and it just works. It doesn't work that way anymore. They're SIM-less and it just transfers, or it doesn't. So yeah, got a bit of a problem. Got to try and sort that out. So a little thingy arrived today. I bought myself this. It's a wheat pack and it smells of rosemary. I did want unscented. I don't know why, but I've got rosemary. But I really like this. It's kind of like a little purple tartan thing. And I thought this would be good to put on my hip. Just on the odd occasion. I can stick this in the microwave. Here it is. It's a bit of a long... Oh, maybe. Hang on. I can even it out a bit. For in case I needed a larger area. It's now this wide. For neck or something. So I can put it in the microwave and, you know, put it on the area. So I'd probably just do that and then put it against my hip or something. Put it in my trousers. Yeah. So I liked that. It wasn't expensive, I thought. I used to have one before. It was pretty smelly. These wheat packs sometimes are a bit stinky, you know, and not that attractive. Mine was floral, but it kind of seen better days. And I got it for my neck when I had whiplash once. So now I've got a new one. It's quite attractive, I think. So that's it. Stinks of rosemary. I'm not a fan of rosemary. I used to like it on my chicken, but I used to put salt and pepper and a bit of rosemary on put it in the oven, and it would be lovely. Or I would use mixed herbs, not to be confused with mixed spice. That's something completely different. That's Christmas pudding flavour. But don't want a Christmas pudding flavoured chicken. That'd just be weird. So yeah, I would put my mixed herbs on, a bit of salt and pepper, shove it in the oven. It'd be cool, very nice. So anyway, let's have a look. And oh, another darkie. What is it? Like a pet or something? Miggs Mayfield. Talking about my little Grogu, because he's over there. What is it? A pet or something? I'd love him as a pet. I would. I would. Absolutely. Okay, let's do the book. Mum jokes. Like dad jokes, only smarter. Okay. The best time to take up solo world travel is when your husband's about to retire. Get that? I thought I wanted another baby. Then my period was an hour late. I'm in the mood. My boobs hurt. Period. We've got period ones. Sorry. If there's any men here, I do apologise. After a lot of consideration, I told my husband I was okay with seeing our kids every other weekend. He reminded me that we're still married and living in the same house, so I guess it's back to every day. Mean. That's the bookie work, okay? Why did it get so loud then? I don't know. I did though, didn't I? I got a bit on the loud side. So out there at this precise moment in time is a yarn order. And there's new yarns in it, as well as a little bit of restock, but there's new yarns out there. And I opened one box because I need to take some boxes for Michael tomorrow. They brought two. One was a big box and the other one was ideal. So I thought, right, I'm going to undo that box and he can have it for moving. So that was big. And when I opened it, it was all the new stuff. There was also a bit of chainy cotton cakes, but I think they're for me. Just saying, I'm not sure. Yeah, I might. Yeah. So, yeah, I will show the yarn possibly tomorrow. Possibly today. Yeah, because it is tomorrow for you, which is your today, my tomorrow. Because I'm doing this your yesterday. Yeah. Confused? You will be after this episode of Soap. Do, 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 do. Used to love that. I'm seeing them. I'm invisible now. You can't see me. I absolutely could not miss an episode of that. Just loved it. I was a massive Soap fan. I loved Jodie. I loved them all though, to be fair. And Bert. Who didn't love Bert? Cheers, guys. Should say, and gals, really. But if I said guys and gals, it would just remind me of Jimmy Savile, and that would never do. Nobody wants to be reminded of that man. If you're from across the pond, he ended up being a bit of a prolific. He was a guy who was a DJ and a TV presenter. He ended up with TV shows. He was a bit ugly and a bit. He always had a big fat cigar sticking out of his face. So, and he had kind of long blonde, wiry hair. Not attractive in any way, but obviously a big celebrity and a massive celebrity. And it turned out that he did a lot for charity in Great Ormond Street hospitals, and he was always doing stuff for charity, but he was interfering with the kids that he was helping. So, not the hero in the end. And it started off a big thing about every so often one of our childhood kind of heroes would turn out to just be a paedophile in sheep's clothing. So, yeah, like Rolf Harris came and, you know, all those. I used to love Rolf Harris. That was a bit of a sad one. I liked him and his didgeridoo and his, you know, all that, you know. Not as good at it as he is. No, I can't do it. I try. But, you know, turned out to be a nasty. Anyway, that's not a nice subject. We won't talk about that anymore. So yeah, and I had a visitor earlier. I had done a job for my ex, and the job I had to do was pay for his car insurance. And I kind of said to him, your car insurance must be due. And he said, I don't think it is. I went, well, I keep getting reminders, so it must be. He looked into it. He went, oh God, it's nearly run out. So he said, would you do it for me? So in the end, I had to pay for it. And then he gave me the money. So he brought the money round because he's a bit of a dinosaur. He can't do bank transferring. If he'd gone into his bank, I'm sure he could have done it. You know, they'd have done it for him. But anyway, he just brought me the cash round. So I've got to now take that to my bank and put it in, you know. But it's a palaver, but this is what I have to do. I have a knock. Wonder what that is. Bear with me, I'll be back. I have returned. It was a parcel for Gary. I know it's a Christmas present for his son, actually, I think, because I recognised the logo or the company, and it being something he bought him last year. Similar, anyway. So now I've got to stitch these two together. More work for me. Never mind. Keeps me off the streets, as they say. I've been trying to work through my to-do list. And how many have I done? One. Yeah, and that one is phoned up about my COVID jab. I phoned the COVID service. And I said, I thought I was going to have a load of grief, or, you know, can't do it, you know. But I didn't. I rang and I said, look, I used to get called for it. Used to get texts and stuff asking me to book it. But I don't get them anymore. My partner still does, but I don't. And I spoke to my GP and they said that I should be getting those because I am at an at-risk group because of my cancer and because of my respiratory problems that I have sometimes. And, you know, in their opinion, that I'm eligible. So he said, let me have a check of your records. And he went, yes, you are eligible. And I said, well, can I find out why I don't get the messages anymore? He said, that's fine, I can book it for you. I said, but I did turn up once to have it done. And because I didn't have my text to say that I, you know, should have it, they turned me away. I said, they did, you know, they just said, no, you can't prove it. And I said, well, I've got this scar because I've had 49 lymph nodes removed and they go from here all the way around. I mean, most of you know this. It is a scar that you can't really see unless you look closely. But it is visible if you point it out. And, well, probably visible for some people if you don't point it out. But a lot of people say, oh, I've never noticed because it's in the creases. So I said, you know, I've got this scar. And they said, well, that's really not proof enough. I said, well, I didn't get it in a bar fight, you know, but they didn't really, you know, wouldn't give it to me, whatever. So I said, so, you know, I'm a bit worried every time if I was to book it up, that I'd be turned away. So the only other way is to ring you guys every time and get you to book it then. And they start sending you the text reminders. So I chose a pharmacy because they're not as, you know, if you go to a COVID centre, then they want the ins and outs of everything. But if you go to the pharmacy, they tend to just like stick you and chuck you out. So hopefully they'll swab it, not like the doctor. So, yeah, it's booked tomorrow. So we're going to be stabbed up tomorrow evening, early evening. I thought that way, if I've got any deliveries or anything like that, and plus I've got to go and take Michael's boxes, I can do all that. And then, and Gary hasn't got to miss any work, we can just go afterwards and get it done. So that'll be tomorrow. And hopefully that means, and they're doing a jab now for norovirus. I saw that on the news this morning, that they're actually getting the trialing the norovirus jab. I've been very lucky, I've never had norovirus. Now I've said that, I'll probably catch that this year. And I'm glad I haven't ever had it, because I'm not good with vomiting. You know, I'm a big baby if it ever comes to it. I'm not good with that at all. So my crochet, should have brought it in to show you, but I didn't pause it again and I've stitched 3 together. It's now kind of like a big rectangle, and it's out there on the table. I was doing some while I had to come in and wait, and I thought I'd do a bit of crochet while I was waiting. And I was doing some last night watching TV. Now I'm using those cakes that I showed you, those pastel ones. and they're kind of bright but dull, if that makes any sense. You know, they're pastel, but they're not. I just feel like they're not bright. They're kind of a little muted. That's the word. They're nice to work with, and I quite like the colours. But I was going to manipulate the colours a little bit, because now I'm getting to a size where, say for instance, the goldy yellow bit I'm on won't go all the way around. So I was going to pull out and just get the goldy yellow bit. And I thought that's going to cause aggro with my my genie that I've got it on, and I want to keep it on the genie. So I figured, you know what, I'm just going to go with it, and it will change colour, and it will change colour. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, so that's well underway now. It's not massive. It's a good size though, about like this. So it's getting there. It's going to get longer and longer going round now. But it is a granny, so it's so easy just to do it. And I like it because it's really little stitches. And obviously if you do a granny and you do big stitches, it works up so much better. But they look cute. I just think they're kind of sweet. So I'm carrying on with that for now. I do need to get stuck into my other WIPs that I've got on the go. Like especially this one. Because I started that when I came back from the US. And I need to get back on with it. And there's another couple of things I want to do. Little things. It's just finding the time, really. We've got so much going on. And it's not just, you know, things like packing my orders and making my videos. There's we've got a bath being delivered on the same day that we're meant to go and see Warhorse. We've got another trip. And Gary wanted for his birthday to see Hans Zimmer. There's an orchestra doing Hans Zimmer songs. He wanted to see that, so that's been booked up. So yeah, there's all these things going, and then we've got you know, deliveries here and things to do. It's just exhausting thinking about it, really. It is. Worn out just thinking about it. Anyway, I've weighed myself and stayed the same. So I think my body does this weird thing, and I think it does it every time I lose weight. I always worry that I've plateaued, but I don't. It's where I kind of lose a chunk of weight and then I kind of shrink a bit and then I lose a chunk of weight. So I've got to that phase now, I think. I always think as well, what are you doing? Are you doing something a little bit wrong in the diet? And the only thing I could put it down to was the fact that Gary's cheesy dish was so nice we had it too often. So we're going to kind of knock that on the head and just have some meat veggie dishes. So we've had lamb shanks, and we had well, I can't remember what we had the other day, but we had something really yummy anyway. And I made all pork steaks. They were nice. And so now today we have, Gary bought lamb burgers, and Gary bought them. He said they're gluten-free, and I went, but what's the carb content? And he went, but they're gluten-free. I went, doesn't mean they're carb-free though. I need to teach him how to read the carb content. So he's just kind of like, he leaves it all to me, but then he goes and buys something that maybe isn't a good idea, but we're going to have to eat them anyway. So that's for tonight. So everything is kind of, all systems go with the bathroom, and the bath is coming next Thursday. So then it's all going to get done. Yay, I can't wait. It's just been a long time coming. It really has. We still need a cupboard for the towels. We need but we're going to get a heated towel roll, but we've got so many towels. I might throw a lot out and just, I've got some blue ones, like blue bath towels, and I bought some smaller ones to match them, but not many. I might go and get another couple of those and just have those and throw all the rest out so that they all match, and, you know, all these unnecessary towels we don't need. So yeah, might be doing that soon. Yeah, I need to get stuck into my WIPs and all my things that I want to do. I need to find more time for it. But then, you see, Gary was off as well. And when Gary's off, you know, it's like, can we go out? And I went, yeah. And then we get back really late and I'm like, I've got to do my video. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And I get rushed off my feet. So for 3 days he's at work. Tomorrow's a little bit disjointed because I've got to take the boxes to Mike and pick up a jet washer. Thank the Lord. I really need one of those. But Mike is giving me his. I want it for the front of the house and the car more than anything, and the caravan. Did I say Yarnavan? The Yarnavan. I can give it a good blast and get rid of all cobwebs and stuff off it. So it's going to be a godsend cleaning the cars down and cleaning the front of the house, because whenever it's windy, bits of conifer tree attach itself to the house. Cobwebs attach itself in all the little nooks and crannies. I can blast them out, you know. Looking forward to giving it a go. Anyway, I am going to get off and upload this video because I have to do my my hump day giveaway, which I've filmed. So I've got to upload them all, and then I've got to put this one, like stick it together. So it's a bit more work than if I just had to upload it. So thanks for watching, and I've probably forgotten stuff, and if I have, I do apologise. To the lady, I did reply to you. It's Tracy. She asked me about the King Cole Glitz Christmas yarn. I think what it was, I used to have some in my shop that was just glitz. There was Halloween, there was Christmas, all in just one clearance place, and now I stock them, and the actual stock is just with the normal glitz, and there is showing 7 of them. So hopefully I do have 7 in stock, but my shop is showing 7 of them. I don't know why you couldn't see them, but maybe it's because you were looking in the old place. I did a little search to see if there was a thing I had to get rid of, because I don't, you know, at the time I listed them differently, but I couldn't find it. I'm really hot. I mean, it was really cold this morning, and Gary left the little heater on. He also left the heater on in the lounge. I've turned them all off, but where the sun has come out, I'm now melting. I might say, and I'm really hot, and all the humping of boxes because I've got just taken delivery of those 2 big yarn boxes, and so I'm also going to go sort all those out. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye bye for now. Take care.